The tires crunched over the gravel as the SUV pulled up to the edge of Blackwood Forest. The trees loomed tall and ancient, their branches curling like bony fingers that clawed at the fading sky. The 5 friends inside were buzzing with the kind of energy that came from escaping the city for a long weekend. Beer clinked in the cooler, music hummed low on the radio, and laughter filled the car. None of them noticed how quickly the sunlight seemed to die the moment they passed beneath the shadow of the pines. "Dude, this place is seriously in the middle of nowhere," Jake said from the passenger seat, his baseball cap tilted backward. He scanned the dense forest and shivered. "Exactly what we wanted, right?" "No neighbors, no rules," Sarah answered from the back seat, leaning forward with a grin. Her red hair caught the last streaks of daylight, making her look like a spark in the dimness. They were college friends, bound by too many late nights and reckless ideas. There was Jake, the joker of the group. Sarah, fearless and curious. Michael, the quiet one who drove and carried more sense than the rest combined. Emily, gentle but sharp-eyed. And finally Ryan, whose idea of fun was always to push things a little too far. The cabin appeared after a winding dirt road, crouched low between the trees like it had been waiting. Its wood was dark with age, its roof sagged slightly, and the porch creaked under the weight of time. The windows were like blank eyes staring out into the forest. "This is, cozy?" Emily said, clutching her jacket tighter. She wasn't joking. The cabin radiated something she couldn't name. The air seemed heavier here. Ryan laughed, hopping out and grabbing the cooler. "Perfect. Just like the listing said. Private, rustic, and creepy as hell. Come on, guys. Let's get inside before we freeze." The door moaned when Michael unlocked it, swinging open to reveal dust and cobwebs. A smell of damp wood and something faintly metallic hit them. Emily wrinkled her nose. "Smells like rust." Inside, the cabin had a main room with a stone fireplace, 2 small bedrooms, and a kitchen that looked like it hadn't seen use in decades. A set of stairs led down to a basement, but the door to it was locked with a rusty padlock. Sarah tugged at it, frowning. "What do you think's down there?" "Probably rats the size of dogs," Jake joked. Dropping his bag on a couch, they unpacked, drank, and laughed into the night. The forest outside pressed against the windows, a wall of darkness broken only by the occasional rustle of unseen movement. When the fire crackled low and the conversation dulled, they heard it, the faint sound of something dragging across wood. Everyone froze. "Tell me that was the wind," Emily whispered. Michael stood, listening. The sound stopped. After a long silence, Ryan smirked. "You guys are jumpy. It's an old cabin, it's settling." He tossed another log on the fire and grabbed another beer, but Emily didn't relax. She kept glancing at the windows, her reflection flickering against the glass. For a split second, she thought she saw something move behind her reflection, a darker shadow shifting in the trees. She said nothing. Later that night, Sarah convinced them to explore outside. "Come on, just a short walk. I want to see the stars without all these trees in the way." They bundled up and stepped into the freezing night. Their flashlights sliced through the blackness, beams trembling over trunks and branches. The forest was so quiet it pressed on their eardrums. No owls, no wind, just silence. They didn't make it far before they found it. Carved deep into one of the trees was a symbol. A circle intersected with jagged lines like claws. The wood around it was blackened, as though burned. "What the hell is that?" Jake asked, stepping closer. Sarah traced the carving with her fingers. "It looks old. Maybe some kind of ritual thing?" Ryan grinned. "Witches, cults, whatever. I love it." He snapped a photo with his phone. Michael scowled. "We should go back." As they turned, they heard a crunch in the leaves. All 5 flashlights whipped around. For a moment, they saw nothing. Then between the trees, a shape moved low, hunched, fast. "Did you see that?" Emily gasped, grabbing Michael's arm. "Probably a deer," he said quickly, but his voice lacked conviction. They hurried back, their breath fogging the air, each step faster than the last. By the time they reached the cabin porch, Sarah was laughing nervously, trying to shake it off. But none of them could forget the way it had moved. Inside, the fire had nearly died. The cabin seemed darker than before, colder. They locked the door, drew the curtains, and settled in for the night. One by one, they drifted off to sleep, except Emily, who lay awake staring at the ceiling, listening. Around 3 a.m., the dragging sound returned, louder this time. It came from the porch. Emily sat up, her heart hammering. The others stirred, muttering in their sleep. Then came the knock, slow, heavy, 3 times. The sight of the symbol painted across the porch sent panic through the group. Michael backed away from the window, his face pale. "That wasn't there when we got here," he whispered. The air inside the cabin seemed to thicken, pressing against their lungs. Jake tried to laugh it off, but the tremor in his voice betrayed him. "Some local kids messing with us. That's all. Who the hell would be out here at 3 in the morning?" Emily snapped, her eyes wide and wild. They argued in hushed tones until a sudden thud rattled the back wall. Then another. Heavy, deliberate impacts circling the cabin. The sound of footsteps dragging slowly through the dirt. Michael grabbed a fire poker, his knuckles white. "Stay together. Nobody goes outside." But Ryan, reckless as always, smirked and grabbed his flashlight. "Screw this. If someone's trying to scare us, I'll scare them back." Before anyone could stop him, he yanked the door open and stepped onto the porch. "Ryan," Sarah hissed, clutching the frame. The cold air that swept in carried the metallic stink of blood. The others huddled by the door as his flashlight beam cut across the trees. "See?" he called. "Nobody out here," but his words broke into a scream. The beam swung wildly before clattering to the ground, spinning in the dirt. For a heartbeat, they saw Ryan's shape twisting in the darkness, something pulling him hard into the trees. Then the light died out. Sarah lunged forward, but Michael slammed the door shut. Ryan's scream cut off as if swallowed by the forest. Silence rushed back in. They collapsed into the living room, shaking, arguing over what to do. Emily's tears streaked her face. "We have to leave, now." Michael shook his head. "The road's miles away. We'll never make it on foot in the dark." Before he could say more, a new sound rose from the basement. A low, wet scratching against the locked door. Everyone stared. Sarah's voice trembled. "Something's down there." The padlock rattled as if something inside was testing it. Emily clamped her hands over her ears and whispered, "It wants out." The scratching stopped. A moment later, the sound of footsteps came again, but this time inside the cabin, upstairs in the empty bedrooms. Heavy, slow steps. Jake whispered, "We're not alone." Michael motioned for everyone to stay quiet, raising the poker. The steps creaked above them. Then silence. Jake moved toward the staircase, his breath ragged. "I'll check." "Don't," Emily pleaded, but he was already climbing. The others waited below, listening to each board groan beneath his weight. Then came his scream, a raw, gurgling cry that ended in a wet, tearing sound. Something heavy slammed against the wall. Blood seeped between the cracks of the ceiling, dripping onto the floor below. Emily shrieked and stumbled back as warm droplets splattered her cheek. Sarah covered her mouth, gagging. Michael pulled them toward the door. "We're leaving, now." They burst outside, the freezing air slashing at their skin. The forest loomed black and endless, but they ran anyway, stumbling down the dirt path. Branches clawed at them, roots snagging their feet. Behind them, something followed. Not footsteps this time, but a low dragging sound, faster, closer. They ran until their lungs burned. Sarah tripped, falling hard. Michael pulled her up, but in that moment, Emily's scream something yanked her into the trees. Her body vanished into the shadows, her scream cutting short with a crunch that echoed through the night. Michael and Sarah didn't stop. They ran until the cabin was gone, until the forest seemed to change around them. But no matter how far they went, the path twisted back on itself. Each turn brought them to the same clearing, and in the center, waiting, was the cabin. Sarah fell to her knees, sobbing. "It won't let us leave." The front door creaked open on its own. From the darkness inside, Ryan's flashlight beam flickered once. Faint and dying, against every instinct, Michael dragged Sarah back into the cabin. The inside had changed. The walls were slick with blood, symbols carved into the wood, and bones scattered across the floor. The locked basement door now hung open. The padlock snapped. Something moved in the shadows of the stairwell, low and hunched, its limbs too long, its face a mask of stretched skin with no eyes. It crawled forward, dragging something with it. Ryan's body split open, ribs cracked like broken wings. Sarah screamed. The thing dropped Ryan's corpse and lunged. Michael swung the poker, but the creature caught it, bending the metal like clay. Its jaw stretched wide, impossibly wide. Rows of teeth, glistening dot, it tore into him, blood spraying the walls. Sarah scrambled backward, slipping on the gore. She bolted for the door, but it slammed shut before she could reach it. The creature turned to her, its head cocking unnaturally. For a moment, she thought she saw Jake's face flicker beneath the stretched skin, his mouth moving soundlessly. Then the skin peeled back, revealing nothing but darkness underneath. Sarah's scream echoed through the cabin as the thing leapt, its teeth closing around her skull. The fire sputtered out. The forest outside grew silent again. When the sun rose, the cabin stood still and empty, as if it had never been touched. The porch was clean, no blood, no symbols. Inside, only silence and shadows. Deep in the basement, carved into the stone floor, 5 new names had joined the hundreds already etched there. Michael, Sarah, Emily, Jake, and Ryan trapped forever in Blackwood Cabin.
Please like and subscribe channel Fear Frequency for more horror stories. Thank you.